It's now time for the Lee County Yellow Jackets Coaches Show with head coach Steve Bordeaux. We now take you to Keith Womack, your host for tonight's program.
And good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Yellow Jacket Coaches Show with your Lee County head coach Steve Bordeaux. I'm Keith Womack, and I'll be your host tonight as we discuss the Yellow Jackets' big win over West Johnston in the first round of the State 3A playoffs, as well as our upcoming second round game against Southern Nash. Our coaches show each week is brought to you by Wilkinson Chevrolet, Dominos, Farm Bureau Tramway, Sheriff Tracy Carter, Fix-It Plumbing, Jones Printing Company, and Brick Capital Video. We'd like to thank these sponsors for bringing you our coaches show every Tuesday night at 7 o'clock on 105.5 FM WFJA, and then also rebroadcast again 1 hour prior to our game time, which will be it'll be broadcast at 6:30 on Friday night prior to our 7:30 kickoff. We're going to take a short break and hear from our great sponsors. We'll be right back with head coach Steve Bordeaux right after these messages.
Coaches Show sponsors: Wilkinson Chevrolet, Dominos, Farm Bureau Tramway, Sheriff Tracy Carter, Fix-It Plumbing, Jones Printing Company, Brick Capital Video.
And welcome back once again to the Lee County Coaches Show with head coach Steve Bordeaux. First of all, coach, congratulations on a big victory. Jackets win 59-15 over West Johnston last week, and welcome to the second round of the State 3A playoffs.
Yes, sir. So I guess anytime from now on we're here on a Tuesday night, means some good things happen.
Well, the Jackets, I tell you, they were pretty impressive in the first round game, coach, because West Johnston, came in not the greatest record of all, but they had played some pretty good teams this year, and we didn't really know what to expect. And the Jackets with a big 59-15 victory. And, of course, I think a lot of our success on Friday night was led by a couple players, because we had some things going on offensively with Kenyon Palmer, defensively with Landon Johnson, and a couple of big plays throughout the game.
Yeah, I was really just pleased with how we came out and started the game. First series on defense, we do let up a first down, but then they didn't get another one, and we forced a punt. And 3 or 4 plays later, we're down at the 1 yard line, and we end up finishing off with a touchdown. Come right back and make a special teams play. Kennedy makes a great kick. Kenyon actually recovers the onside kick. And then the next play, we score a touchdown, so it's 14-0, just like that. And we continue to be able to do that throughout, really through the first 3 quarters, and then kind of, rotated in a whole lot of guys.
Well, as we like to say, that game got ugly early, which is good if you're on the given part of that ugly. So Jackets went on to roll. Coach had some big milestones in this game. B.J. Brown, the sophomore, just needed about 40 or 50 yards to break the 1,000-yard mark for the season. And, of course, B.J. Brown ended up with 129 yards on 9 carries. I don't think he carried it but one time in the second half to eclipse his 1,000. And then Will Patterson just continues to do what we call Will Patterson things. 8 of 8, 229 yards, 406 yards of total offense, just pure efficient offense.
Yeah, definitely so. And that all starts with the offensive line. Offensive line giving Will time, making the blocks for whether it's Kendall or BJ or whoever is carrying the ball. And then a couple times down on screens, Caden Pelly and Wyatt Rickard out in space making blocks, Tyler McMullian and Lance and Aiden, our whole group of offensive linemen, Ryan, that group, that Brandon Williams, we play about really 7 guys on the offensive line. Coach Santiago and Coach Thompson do a great job with those guys, but that's where it really starts. If we play well up front, we're pretty tough to beat on offense.
Well, Coach, we're always bragging on the offense, bragging on the defense and the players that play well, but one play that stuck out in my mind on Friday night was special teams. You guys got the ball back. Time was winding down, got the ball down to what I guess is about the 24-yard line. and Kennedy Hernandez comes in and kicks a 31-yard field goal as time expires. How much, first of all, I know it's important that that happened, even though you had the big lead going into half, but how important that was in my mind for Hernandez to get the confidence, because you know what? This may not have meant much, but it may mean a lot Friday night, or it may mean a lot down the road if the Jackets were to keep winning.
Yeah, definitely those game reps, those game situations that we can't replicate that stuff in practice. We try to the best we can, but there's a different pressure on a Friday night when there's a whole bunch of people watching, your lights are on, and obviously another team trying to do something besides your teammates. And Kennedy has a leg. Today in practice, a couple big bombs. We actually finished with practice with one. But it was always great to get the opportunity in the game.
Well, as we said, Lee County takes out the 28th seeded team, West Johnston, by a score of 59-15. A big victory for the Yellow Jackets, and now they'll move on in the second round to play a Southern Nash team that's got a pretty good record, Coach. We'll talk about that in just a moment, but we did want to look at what officially is Week 12, the first round of the state playoffs. As we said, the number 5 seed Lee County at 8-3 this year took on West Johnston. They were the 28th seed at 5-6 and defeated them 59-15. So the Jackets will move on, as well as another. Speaking of our conference opponents, and we're certainly rooting for them unless we have to play them again.
Right.
Number 23, Scotland County, which, to be fair, number 10 Southern Durham got a bad draw.
Yes, sir.
Because Scotland's a good team. They played in a great conference, and so they went in as the 23 seed at 6-4, and they beat the number 10 seed Southern Durham, who came in at 6-5 by a 35-13 score, and the Scots will also move on into 3A playoffs. In the 4A ranks, Richmond County, who is ranked number 1 in 4A at 10-1, took on number 32 Jack Britt out of Fayetteville at 4-6. Of course, Richmond County gets a big victory, 52-14 over Jack Britt. They'll move on in the state 4A playoffs. Number 20 Rollsville, the two blemishes, I guess, for the conference. They were ranked 20th, came in at 6-5. These two teams had played earlier. They played number 13 Pinecrest. Pinecrest was able to defeat them in the first game of the season.
Yep.
So Rollsville with a little bit of a revenge factor going there. Came in a big victory, 56-32. Not surprised that Rollsville won. Just kind of surprised at the end of the end score, I guess. And then also out of our conference in the 3A rank, number 2 ranked Wake Forest at 8-3 took on number 31 ranked Hope County at 4-7, and of course they beat them 47-0. It was probably pretty much what we expected, but congratulations to both Pinecrest and Hope County, who had a great season this year. And of course Union Pine, Southern Lee, local teams to follow here in the Sand Hills area. Their season has been completed, and we certainly want to wish them the best as we get ready for next year. Looking ahead to this Friday night, we've talked about it, number 5 Lee County, now at 8-3, will take on number 12, the 12 seed Southern Nash. Now they came in, Coach, at 9-1 in the 3A, but they played in a split conference with 2A, 3A, and so we don't know exactly how tough that competition was, but to get a 12 seed, it had to be somewhat tough. They come in at 9-1. It's going to be a tough game on Friday night. And just real quick before we'll come back after commercial to talk about that game more specifically, but also Richmond County now at 6-4 will be at number 7 West Carteret at 8-2. They've got the long drive.
They do.
Like we had preseason a couple years ago down toward Morehead City. And then, of course, number 1 Richmond County in the 4A playoffs will take on the number 16 seed Leesville Road at 8-2. Leesville Road, Coach, they've had a good team over the last few years, and Richmond County is going to have to come to play, but we certainly hope wish all the best for them in the state 4A playoffs.
Yeah, definitely. So hoping both those guys, and obviously us, we go 3-0 this week, and still playing and representing our conference into the third round.
And of course, we'll update you on all the scores that matter on 105.5 WFJA during the broadcast on Friday night. And so make sure you tune in. And just want to remind everybody real quick, you can also tune in to the live broadcast Friday night on www.wfja.wwgpradio.com, and you can listen from anywhere in the country. So make sure you tune in, let your family members know. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back and talk about Friday night's big game as the Yellow Jackets get ready to take on Southern Nash when we come back right after these messages.
Coaches Show sponsors: Wilkinson Chevrolet, Dominos, Farm Bureau Tramway, Sheriff Tracy Carter, Fix It Plumbing, Jones Printing Company, Brick Capital Video.
And welcome back once again to the Yellow Jacket Coaches Show with head coach Steve Bordeaux. And Coach, we're going to talk about the second round playoff game against Southern Nash in just a moment, but we've got a couple of awards to give out. Of course, as most people know, the Yellow Jackets with a big 59-15 victory over West Johnston last week. And of course, we had some special players with some special plays on Friday night. And we'd like to, first of all, thank the Norman Financial Group, who helps us award the offensive and defensive players of the game that John and I select immediately after the game. And Coach, will start on the offensive side. Our player of the game, Kenyon Palmer, one heck of a game.
Yeah, Kenyon had an outstanding game. Speaking specifically on offense, he had 2 touchdowns and about 140 yards. Kenyon just seems to continue to get better and better, doing the things that we want him to do, and continue to be one of our leaders and one of our captains. Extremely proud of all he's doing for us.
And Coach, we had some special plays from a player that really, we could pick him almost every game because the effort is there night in and night out. So our Norman Financial Group defensive player of the game, once again, Landon Johnson, the big senior defensive end.
Yeah, Landon was, I felt like, all over the field making tackles for loss. And, Landon is an extremely smart football player. He understands the things that we do in practice are for a reason, and the plays that we do in scout formations are the plays they're going to run in the game. And he does a great job of helping us get lined up and just making plays.
And, of course, Coach, we have one other award that we'd like to give out. Of course, this is sponsored by Wilkinson Chevrolet, located down on 87 South, going toward Fayetteville. And this is an award where the coaching staff gets together, grades the film, and then they look and they pick out one special player for the overall player of the game, sponsored by Wilkinson Chevrolet.
Yeah, this week we went with Kenyon Palmer. And usually thinking of the player of the week for the coaches, you usually have to either greatly affect one side of the ball or affect multiple sides. And Kenyon is playing defense, doing a great job at corner. On special teams, actually recovered an onside kick, and then obviously had a great night on offense. So Kenyon was the guy to make it this week.
Kenyon Palmer with 4 catches, 145 yards in last week's ball game. Coach, very deserving, and congratulations to Kenyon Palmer and also Landon Johnson for the accolades. And of course, as we said earlier, the Jackets getting ready to take on Southern Nash Friday night. And Coach, we've got a lot of stuff to look at. Lee County 8-3 overall. Played in the Sandhills 3A, 4A conference along with Richmond County, Scotland County, Pinecrest. Very tough conference, been a lot of fun this year.
Oh, definitely.
Been very competitive. And of course, Southern Nash, who is out of the Big East 2A, 3A conference, comes in at 9-1 overall. It's going to be a big game tonight. So, Coach, tell us a little bit about what we can expect from Southern Nash when they're on the offensive side of the ball.
Right, so I think one thing in general, Southern Nash, the program itself has been extremely successful. Before we played in the state championship in 2019, they were there playing. They played the game right before us, representing the East. But this year, speaking offensively, they have 3 guys in the backfield that have right at 1,000 yards each. 2 of them have 1,100 and 1,200 yards. They all 3 average over 100 yards a game. They are a very good football team, but a very good offensive football team in that threat.
And, Coach, let me tell you, those 2 guys, NC State signee Jackson Vick, has signed. I believe he'll be playing more corner when he gets to the next level. He's got almost 1,200 plus yards. And then Traylon Mitchell also, and he's just a junior, with over 1,000 yards. The coach, there's another player, Sammy Gandy, who hasn't played the last 3 games, and he's only 100 shy of 1,000 yards. So obviously geared up for a big rushing attack.
Yeah, definitely. They have like 3,500 yards total rushing. They rush the ball, and just like we talked about our team, it starts with their offensive line. They have very talented skill guys, but their offensive line plays extremely hard. They get off the ball, they're scrappy, and they're very well coached. So it's definitely going to be a big test for us on defense.
Well, Coach, let's talk a little bit about Southern Nash when they're on the defensive side. What can we expect to see out of them defensively?
So they're similar to us, I would say, where they have some guys that in the skill positions that will play both ways. So some of those same names that we're going to see on offense, they're going to be playing corner and playing linebacker on defense. And that's what really good football players do. They don't want to come off the field, but they're athletic in the secondary. And just like their offensive line, their defensive line is very scrappy, plays hard, and we're going to have to be on our A game to consistently move the ball.
Well, Coach, I think we've got the makings for what could be a great game, and I think it's even more important to note that because we need Yellow Jacket fans in the seats pulling on these Yellow Jackets. We really need to get a big crowd out there tonight or Friday night. Make sure you come out, come early, tailgate, have all the fun you want in the parking lot. Bring that noise inside and help pull these Yellow Jackets on. Just by the numbers a little bit, Coach, we talked about Lee County comes in as the number 5 seed overall in the 3A, Southern Nash at number 12. The team rating, Lee County is rated at 22.9, where Southern Nash is rated at 23.5. Very close right there. The schedule strength, 8.7 for the Yellow Jackets, 3.1 for Southern Nash. So Lee County with a tougher strength of schedule. And of course the state ranking, the Yellow Jackets are 64, Southern Nash is 61. So I don't know if the same people do those rankings or what.
Well, they do, but I want to find the other 63 teams better than us and the other 60 teams better than Southern Nash. I'm not saying that there's some that we can't play with and all that, but I don't believe there's 63 better than us and 60 better than them.
Well, you think about it. If the Yellow Jackets, if they're seated 5th, that means that somewhere in the state, they're all the 4A teams that are making the playoffs. They just assume they're all better than Lee County, and we know that's not the case.
No doubt about it. No doubt about that. But we play the teams that are on our bracket, and Southern Nash is a 12 seed, but they're actually the 3A ranking wise, they're actually one ahead of us. For us winning our 3A part of our conference is what really has us having a home field advantage. Because if it went straight by ranking, we'd be traveling to Southern Nash this week. So luckily we got the win over Scotland a few weeks ago that got us this home game. Now we have to take advantage of it. Like you said, we need the crowd packed to use that home field advantage.
Well, scoring-wise, the Yellow Jackets have been averaging 33.5 points a game. Southern Nash about 42. Yellow Jackets only giving up 15 a game, where Southern Nash giving up 18. So again, a lot of similarities there. Let's look at the rushing and passing yards. Lee County has rushed for 1,763 yards. Southern Nash for 3,476. That's almost ridiculous. Twice, basically. However, the Jackets have passed for almost 1,900 yards. Southern Nash 370. But all in all, it's about wash with 3,643 yards of total offense for the Jackets. 38-46 for Southern Nash.
Yeah, I think the thing that people will see when they come to the game on Friday night is obviously they're a very good football team that runs the football, but what they do on offense puts the defensive backs in a situation where they have to play honest because it says 15 completions for 370 yards. All 15 of those passes were wide open. There's nobody within 10 yards of somebody, and that's one of the things that we're trying to make sure doesn't happen. We got to stop the run, but we can't give up huge plays in the pass game either.
Well, some of the guys you know about B.J. Brown for the Yellow Jackets, but you'll also see Kendall Morris for Southern Nash, Jackson Vick, and Traylon Mitchell, as we talked about. Passing, Will Patterson, obviously the starting quarterback, has done a great job this season. For the Southern Nash, you'll see Zyshawn White playing the quarterback position, but he will not throw the ball a whole lot, so don't be shocked if you don't see him throw the ball a lot. Receiving the ball, Tyreek McKendall, Kenyon Palmer, Eli Garrison, all having great years. Jackson Vick is the Southern Nash leading receiver with 8 catches for 200 yards, 4 touchdowns. And, of course, we can't forget about JoJo Jennings, T.J. Johnson, if he's able to get any reps. Tyreek McKendall, Landon Johnson, Mark Schlesinger. Those are the big hitters defensively for the Jackets. And I think when everything's said and done, Coach, we're just expecting one heck of a game Friday night.
Yeah, I think it's going to be on paper. You know, you look at it across the state, this should be one of the ones people will circle. If you're just a football fan and you don't have anybody that you care about playing, this would be a game to go see. It's 2 really good football programs, 2 really good football teams. I hate that this is a second-round game. I feel like this is how it works out sometimes, but it feels like more of a third, fourth, or now 5th-round type game. But, hey, we play them when we got to play them.
Well, Coach, we're excited about it. We want to make sure all the Yellow Jacket fans come out to support the Yellow Jackets on Friday night, and we'll kind of finish it up and wrap this thing up. We're going to take a quick break and come back in just a few moments here at the Lee County Coaches Show.
Wilkinson Chevrolet Buick GMC is celebrating 1 year in their new state-of-the-art facility at 3335 Highway 87 South, just across from Walmart. Wilkinson Chevrolet Buick GMC offering the area's best service for our customers and great deals on new or pre-owned vehicles. Let Wilkinson's award-winning service department keep your vehicle running like new, and watch how our professional customer service will make you want to purchase, service, and trade at Wilkinson. GMC, we are professional grade. Wilkinson Chevrolet Buick GMC invites you to come check us out at 3335 Highway 87 South or visit the Wilkinson website at wilkinsoncars.com.
Lee County football is once again proud to partner with Dominos and GBR Pizza for the 2021 football season. GBR Pizza is in its 39th year bringing Dominos to Sanford and the surrounding area. We want to remind you to order online for your delicious Domino's Pizza. Check out our 2 new specialty cheeseburger and taco pizzas. Lee County can't get enough Domino's, and Domino's can't get enough of Lee County football. Check out their delicious menu right now at Dominos.com.
Our staff at WFJA and WWGP radio stations in Sanford want to take this time to thank retiring Lee County Sheriff Tracy Carter. Sheriff Carter has always loved and supported local sports, and we appreciate that Sheriff Carter and his staff has made sure that attending athletic events is a safe and family event.
Coaches Show sponsors: Wilkinson Chevrolet, Dominos, Farm Bureau Tramway, Sheriff Tracy Carter, Fix It Plumbing, Jones Printing Company, Brick Capital Video.
And welcome back once again to the Yellow Jacket Coaches Show with head coach Steve Bordeaux. Coach, first of all, thank you for coming in tonight and talking about last week's victory, and also kind of previewing tonight's game against Southern Nash.
Yes, sir. If anybody doesn't know, get your ticket on GoFan. It'll be 7:30 kickoff. We'll see everybody there.
Perfect, and we appreciate that. We'd also like to remind you to join us on 105.5 WFJA this Friday at 6:30 prior to our game time, which is at 7:30 this week. I know at the ball game it was announced at 7 o'clock, so I want to make sure everybody's clear. Game time is 7:30 on Friday night. And, of course, our coaches show will be posted on the WFJA website and the WFJA Facebook page tomorrow, Wednesday, by noon. And, of course, we invite you to watch it and share it with all your family and friends this week, and so we can kind of get the word out of what's going on. We also hope that you'll take these opportunities to join us this season. We're the only radio station to bring you Yellow Jacket football live as it happens. We'd also like to remind you to check out the WFJA website page. Go to sports, then go to high school football. You'll see a choice of pages that includes the results page. It's going to include the conference standings, the power rankings, schedules for all teams in the Sandhills 3A, 4A conference, up-to-date season stats, all that for the Lee County Yellow Jackets. We'd like to wish the best of luck, Coach, to the Yellow Jackets as they take on Southern Nash. And, of course, this is the second round of this tonight. Of course, it starts with Wilkinson Chevrolet, Dominos, Farm Bureau of Tramway, Sheriff Tracy Carter, Jones Printing Company, Fix It Plumbing, and our good friends at Brick Capital Video for helping us to bring this show out tonight and, of course, to rebroadcast it on Friday night. And we'd also like to thank you sincerely for listening to us here on WFJA Sports. Let's get ready, Yellow Jacket fans. It's time once again for Yellow Jacket football.
You've been listening to the Lee County Yellow Jackets Coaches Show with head coach Steve Bordeaux and show host Keith Womack. On behalf of all the Coaches Show sponsors, we thank you for listening to tonight's program. This has been a production of WFJA and WWGP Sports.